Another movie memories. I auditioned for Matthew Bright for a role in Ted Bundy, which is a film about the serial killer Ted Bundy. Matthew Bright, of course, directed Freeway, which was starring Reese Witherspoon, which was like made such a huge splash in the 90s. You know, it was like early indie films. And, you know, so Matthew Bright was like somebody I definitely looked up to. So it was amazing. And, you know, my audition was actually with him. It was not even with the casting director. It was just him and me and I think somebody else. But he was there at this like tiny audition for this tiny part I did. So I had some lines in the audition and you know, I didn't know how I did, whatever. But I left, I got a call back, and I got the part. So I went to set, we were shooting down in like the Adams district, right, by the freeway, by the 10. And I didn't get the part that I had auditioned for, which was like in a hallway. I got the part of one of the first people in the film, and I'm somebody walking down the street, and then Ted Bundy gets out of his car and hits me over the head with a hammer. And it's actually really hard to watch. I just watched it recently, and I was like, oh, that is hard to watch. I had to I had to fall really before he actually hit me. That was actually a really tricky part of the timing, and he was behind me, so I couldn't see. But Michael Riley Burke, who played Ted Bundy, was super fun in the makeup trailer, and then on set was so scary. I mean, he was acting like I'm. Why am I surprised? But it was amazing how kind he was in person and how scary he was as Ted Bundy. So we had to do the scene over and over where I fall into this car and then I, hit my arm and I fall to the ground. And Matthew Bright was like, more animalistic, more of a guttural animal growl. So we'd do it a bunch of times and I would get more and more guttural every time. And I was super stoked because by the end he was like, that was perfect. We don't have to do an ADR of it. So I was like, great, awesome. And so what else is funny about that film is that because I was one of the first characters and they listed it alphabetically, my name ended up on a ton of like movie credit websites. Like, did I deserve it at that point? Like, no, that was the first film I was in, but then I was just like listed first on so many websites, which is still hilarious to me. I was just looking at my IMDb credits the other day and I was like, I'm listed first in most of these, and it's because of alphabetical, but anyway, super funny. Like, I did not expect that, right? It was already super amazing to just get a weird little part in a Matthew Bright film. I did not expect that then my name would be all over the world on all kinds of websites just because of the order of appearance in the credits. Now, Matthew Bright was a character. The guy I was dating at the time, we ended up just being friends with Matthew. And so we would go to parties together, and we heard all about the other films he was shooting after Ted Bundy. So it was already amazing just to be in a Matthew Bright film. I certainly did not expect to be friends with Matthew for the next year or 2 years and just hang out and go to parties with him.